Good day everyone. Today I'm going to discuss our final topic, which is all about problem-based and project-based learning approach. And the desired learning outcome is that we're going to discuss the two approaches or learning approaches and identify different ICT tools that can be utilized in problem-based and project-based learning. So let's start with the problem-based learning approach. So what is PBL or problem-based learning approach? It is a student-centered approach which they may work in groups or independently so that they can conceptualize, design, launch their innovative product in front of classmates and community leaders. Other definitions: it is a teaching method in which complex real-world problems are used as the vehicle to promote student learning of concepts and principles as opposed to direct presentation of facts and concepts. And another thing is that if we put it on a simpler term, PBL is a collaborative approach solving a complex real-life problem or scenario that you may encounter on the professional setting. So that is PBL or problem-based learning. So why do we use problem-based learning? So there is a reason why we use problem-based learning. So when we say problems or problem, they can be used to extend, manipulate, apply, or reinforce content ideas. These contents can be used as a vehicle to teach ways of thinking through cognitive process or higher thinking skills. So later on, we are going to discover what skills can we get from problem-based learning. So we have here the comparison between the traditional teaching versus problem-based learning. We're going to compare the two classroom settings. So let's start with the traditional teaching. On the traditional teaching, a teacher standing in front of his or her students and gives a lecture, and students needed to listen, understand, and remember what the teacher is saying, which may result to difficulty in keeping track of the new information and to absorb it. Whereas, in problem-based learning, it is designed to teach students how to teach themselves and be a master problem solvers along the way. So independent learning. Now, in classroom setting, students work in groups exploring real-life scenarios with the guidance of a teacher. So that is the difference between the classroom setting of the traditional teaching and problem-based learning. So when we say problem-based learning, it is mostly used in medical education. So let us have a case scenario wherein we're going to know the process of problem-based learning. So our problem is that a 78-year-old woman having a chest pain. So that will be our problem. Now, in order to solve this particular problem, as the picture is saying, or pertaining. So the student, since PBL or problem-based learning is common to medical education, this will be our scenario or our example. So students here are student doctors. So student doctors will be dealing with the problem by brainstorming follow-up questions for the old woman. So questions may be: where is the pain, when did it start, other symptoms, medical or family history, and other problems. And some cases may include lab data, pictures, and also videos. Now, after asking those questions and after conducting those cases, the students figure out what they already know, and identify knowledge gaps where it leads to more questions, and they may use shared documents and concept maps. Now, what will be the role of the teacher in problem-based learning? So the teacher will act as the facilitator and also a guide and a coach, because the main goal of PBL is learning to solve problems. And in order to do this, students will need to be guided during the searching and solving of and solving process. And the teacher will also make sure that the student is participating, collaborating, and thinking critically. Okay, now let's proceed. After the or at the end of the discussions of the students, the students will make now a list of learning issues or how and why questions that they need to be researched before the next session. So what are the sample questions? Okay, example here is that how does the heart pump blood and why do heart attacks cause pain? Okay, so those are the listed learning issues or how and why questions that needed to be researched before proceeding. Okay, now after that, okay, after listing those learning issues or the questions, the students now will divide, okay, into groups, and then they will research on their own. And then before the next class, okay, each student would gather information from online resources and books and shares it to the group. And in doing this, students can now apply the gathered information to the case, and this provides students deeper and richer understanding to the particular problem. So that is how problem-based learning works. Now, what is the active engagement in learning? Okay, so the students will not only memorize the content, but they work together in order to build a strong web interconnected information which may be used to solve real-world problems. So what are the skills that we can obtain here? So the mastered skills would be teamwork, critical thinking, lifelong learning, and of course, communication. So there are also benefits in using problem-based learning. So a well-designed PBL project provides students with the opportunity to develop skills related to, of course, working in teams, managing projects and holding leadership roles, oral and written communication, self-awareness and evaluation of group processes, working independently, critical thinking and analysis, explaining concepts, self-directed learning, applying course content to real-world examples, and lastly, researching and information literacy. So let us remember that PBL is a student-centered, inquiry-based instructional model in which learners engage with an authentic, ill-structured problem that requires further research. That is according to Jonassen and Hung on 2008, and students identify gaps in their knowledge, conduct research, and apply their learning to develop solutions and present their findings. Through collaboration and inquiry, students can cultivate problem solving, metacognitive skills, engagement in learning, and intrinsic motivation. And lastly, PBL can radically change student learning. So rather than stuff students full of facts or materials to memorize, problem-based learning encourages students to solve problems independently or in groups to find particular solutions. So now, after discussing the problem-based learning or the concept of problem-based learning, let us now identify the technology tools or the applications that we can use. So teachers must make efforts to provide students with problem-based learning activities, and to grow your collection of PBL resources, here are 7 must-have apps and tools. So in order to visit these tools or these applications, just click the this one, okay, dun sa ibibigay ko later on na material or yung content. Just click the header, okay, of those applications, and it will redirect you on the particular app or website. Now Let us start with the first one, which is EduCurious. So EduCurious is a website with supplemental apps that aims to turn students into developing experts by connecting them with real-world mentors. So the site includes Common Core aligned curriculum that works to include 21st century technology and problem-based learning skills and connections with experts. Below is the logo of EduCurious. Then, the next one, we have the Newsela. Newsela is an incredible website that offers news articles from several major publications in several different reading levels. Okay, so here is the icon if you want to visit it later on. We also have the Padlet. Okay, when students are engaged in collaborative work, Padlet is a great tool for the classroom. It works as an online bulletin board where students can post ideas, images, videos, and more. So here is the icon or the logo for Padlet. Okay, we also have the problem-based learning experience. This is an application. So this unique app features a collection of starter questions to help students and teachers begin problem-based learning activities. So each starter question also contains links to other resources to help students work to solve the problem in a real-world way. And we also have the Project Foundry, which is a popular learning tool that enables students to plan their own learning and track their progress. And we also have the TED-Ed, which is a fantastic resource for helping students gain insights into real-world problems. And lastly, we have the Knowledge Compass, which is a wonderful way to help students formulate questions and begin the research process. So the website provides several different types of questions to help students ask the right questions to guide their particular research. So those are the different tools or applications that we can use in problem-based learning. If you want to discover them, I will just I put them on the learning content. Okay, just click it, or you can just research or type them on Google and the links or the results will just pop up. Okay, now after knowing the problem-based approach, learning approach, the concept of PBL, and the different technology or applications that can help us in PBL, now let us proceed to project-based learning approach. So when we say project-based learning approach, it is a teaching method in which students learn by actively engaging in real-world and personally meaningful projects. Okay, so project-based learning approach definitions may include a teaching method in which students gain knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time to investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex questions, problems, or challenge. Okay, teachers make learning come alive for students on project-based learning approach, and students work on a project over an extended period of time from a week up to a semester, and that engages them in solving a real-world problem or answering a complex question. They demonstrate their knowledge and skills by creating a public product or presentation for a real audience. Okay, so those are the definitions of the project-based learning approach. Okay, so let's proceed with the benefits of using project-based learning. So the first one is collaboration. So the relationships formed during collaboration is a huge part of PBL. Not only do students learn how to work better in groups, providing their own input, listening to others, and resolving conflicts when they arise, they also build positive relationships with teachers, which reinforces how great learning is. So students also form relationships with community members when working on projects, gaining insight for careers and beyond. When we have the problem solving, and when problem solving, students learn how to solve problems that are important to them, including real community issues, were effectively even learning from failure and are more effectively even learning more failure and possibly starting over. We also have creativity, where students apply creative thinking skills to innovate new product designs and possibilities for projects. Also, we have the in-depth understanding, where students build on their research skills and deepen their learning of applied content beyond facts or memorization. Also, we have self-confidence. The students find their voice and learn to take pride in their work, boosting their agency and purpose. We also have the critical thinking, where students learn to look at problems with a critical thinking lens, asking questions and coming up with possible solutions for their project. Follow up by perseverance, where in working on a project, students learn to manage obstacles more effectively, often learning from failure and possibly starting over from scratch. And project management, where students learn how to manage projects and assignments more efficiently. Curiosity, where students get to explore their curiosities, ask questions, and form a new love for learning. And lastly, we have the empowerment, where students take ownership over their projects, reflecting on and celebrating their progress and accomplishments. So those are the benefits of using project-based learning. So now, what will be the role of the teacher in project-based learning approach? So the teacher provides opportunities for students to learn each of the need-to-knows and apply them to their projects. Because at its high level, PBL, project-based learning is also known as PBL. PBL offers students the opportunity to direct their own learning, so there's less focus on the teacher as the sole source for learning content. So it provides students with choice in how they learn, like reading articles, watching videos or discussions, or discussing the lessons topic with a particular teacher. So those are the choices that the learner or the student can make. So it also requires formative assessing. So when we say formative assessing, how are we going to assess them formatively? So the teacher will coach through the struggles, provides alternative opportunities when they need more support, and create a safe space where students feel comfortable taking academic risks, sharing their ideas with others, and revising and working hard to accomplish that particular goal. So those are the roles of the teacher. Now let us have an example or a case scenario again, which uses the project-based learning. Okay. So Miss Sandara Park has always been a good science teacher, and her students do well on Friday's test because Friday is her schedule. Okay, they do well on Friday's test. Unfortunately, what they learned is gone by Saturday morning, so that wasn't good enough for her. Soon, she learned about project-based learning and decided to give it a shot. So Miss Park got the idea for her first project on microorganisms. So that will be her topic. Okay, the reason why Miss Sandara Park chooses the microorganisms is because when nearly half of her class or half of her students were suddenly absent with a particular flu. Okay. She then asked her students why they thought so many of their classmates got sick at the time. Okay, so that she asked that particular question. Okay, that lively discussion produced a lot of good questions and lists of things that kids wanted to know. So, Miss Sandara Park then announced that their project was to help students understand how can we not get sick. After dividing the class into teams, these are the students' tasks. Okay, to ask questions, to research, collaborate, give each other feedback, figure out the best ways to make their points clear to students. So we have two teams here. Team A chose to make an educational video on the connection between hand washing and avoiding the flu, and Team B chose to create posters to show how viruses spread. After collaborating, the project teams showed off their final work to an enthusiastic audience of parents and students. So it was clear that the project was a success for the students, the audience, and Miss Sandara Park. So what are the skills being practiced here on this case scenario? So the skills that being practiced here is critical thinking, collaboration, communication. So the project wasn't about memorization but learning in depth about viruses and how to prevent spreading disease, and the lesson they will never forget. So that is all about the project-based learning approach. Okay, that is a case scenario that uses PBL or project-based learning approach. So now let us proceed on the different technology or applications or tools that may use in PBL or project-based learning approaches or learning approach. So the web provides many tools that can play a fun and helpful role in project-based learning. So first example here we have the Animoto, which brings fun and education together under one roof. It combines the environment of academic learning with an element of entertainment. Animoto provides teachers and students a platform where they can upload videos, pictures, and audio clips for a project. We also have the DPT. It enables students to collaborate on a project for a subject like geography, history, social sciences, and the like by creating a timeline consisting of images, text, and so on. Students can use this tool for any project where they can present the dates of events regarding a subject. The next one is Google Drive or Docs, which I know you already use or encountered. So Google Docs, more recently renamed Google Drive, is like your hand drive on the go. Okay, it is a cloud-based tool that creates a virtual space for storing data and files. So when we say cloud-based, okay, you can store files or you can retrieve or you can open your files anytime and anywhere with the help of the internet. So that is the Google Drive. You can save any files and then you can share them just like what I'm doing with you, wherein I upload the videos before I upload the videos on Google Drive, and then I'll just give the particular link, and then you're going to watch it through that link. You can access it anytime and anywhere. We also have the Glogster. It is a cool application where students can create interactive digital posters, and it can play a fun role in project-based learning. We also have the MindMeister. Okay, or the mind mapping apps like MindMeister can be a great resource for PBL. It helps students generate and organize ideas, and it's an effective tool for unlocking latent creative ideas. So as you can see at the top, those are the icons of the different tools, okay, that is helpful in project-based learning. So if you would like to discover them later, you just have to search them on the internet and it will pop up. Okay, the result will pop up. Now, I hope you understood something about our discussion on the problem-based learning and the project-based learning. So if you have any questions, if you have queries, do not hesitate to ask me or do not hesitate to send a message, and I will try my